Today we are going to make nutcrackers. Second grade, and I don't think you get to go this year, but every year second grade has always gone to the Nutcracker Ballet. So we've just always made nutcrackers. We're going to make these nutcrackers, and we're going to build all these beautiful patterns and designs on our nutcracker. And then when we finish these, we're going to make the same nutcracker in clay. So when you pay attention to the designs on his shoulder, the details on his arms, the details of, like they're a military person, so they have all these straps and buttons and decorations, lines on their pants, what kind of crown are they going to wear, that's going to carry over to our nutcracker we're going to make. So to begin with, you're going to need to pick out a head. I have lots of colors, skin colors you can choose from. So it's up to you what color of head, what color of skin you want to make for your nutcracker. You need a rectangle for the body. I like to have my arms match the color of my uniform. It's your nutcracker. So if you want your arms to be a different color, that's fine. But these two pieces need to be the same color. I like mine to match my uniform piece, but yours don't have to. And you have to have two legs. So when I call you by, you're going to grab your little pieces. How you build your nutcracker is, as we've done so many times, I'm just going to cut the corners off the bottom part of my head. I'm going to glue my body on. And before I glue my body on, I want to cut a little triangle towards the bottom. Because if we look at our nutcrackers, and we're going to look those up and I'm going to pass some out to you, where their waist is, where there's a belt, it kind of goes in a little bit. So I want you to cut a triangle on each side. That's where my belt will go. So as I put my nutcracker together, I want to put my body goes there. What makes more sense? For my legs to be glued on top or underneath?
Underneath.
So I might want to put it together. My arms. Does it make sense for my arms to come out here? No, your arm. It goes head. Our nutcrackers actually don't have necks because I have a big beard that will go. Shoulder. And then my arms are going right there. Try to glue them straight down. Don't glue them completely off the page, but they'll run off the page a little bit, and that's fine. So that is step one. That is what needs to be done right now. Once your nutcracker is, the body is all put together, we're gonna work on putting all these great little details on. Now I've cut the scrap paper in all sorts of sizes that are pretty easy for you to be able to go straight from there. I've got strips and I've got squares. So I'm going to start with whatever kind of hat I want. So one of the great things is I could take this piece and maybe I share it with somebody. And again, you don't have to do yours like mine. You can look at some of the nutcrackers. But here's the bottom part of my crown, and I'm going to glue it right on top of here. And then I can cut the corners off. So now I have an awesome crown for my person. And it's okay that it's a little bit bigger because that's where we'll put some hair. Maybe I want a design, so I just have to glue this on. So I have an awesome gold piece on it, and I just need to cut that off there. So I can glue my head or my hat, soldier hat, crown, whatever you want it to be, on top. What did I want to do? So for my belt, maybe I'm going to have a big piece here for my belt. And then I can put a design piece. Again, this is about layering our design. That goes all the way across. I have two matching pieces, so I'm going to put the stripes on his pants going down either side. But today is a decorating day. We're not worried about his face or his boots or anything like that. I can put a piece. This piece is a little too big. And again, I'm all about how detailed can we make this. So I'm going to glue this piece down first. I'm going to cut this down to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to glue this down underneath. And then I could get, this is a little thick, so feel free to cut some of your pieces if you need them to be smaller. I'm going to add these pieces to go across. Put the glue on here. Don't try to glue this piece on the table and go like this. You'll get glue all over my table. So now I can glue these little strips on. We can get a hole punch out if you need it to add some of those other details. You want to, that's looking so good. Again, I probably want matching pieces. So if I put something on this arm, I don't want them to be different. So I have two pieces, one here and one here. Look at the decorations on the end of his. Here's something that's important. So maybe for the other half of this, I could use it, cut it in half, and I'm going to use it as my shoulder pads. You know how most military uniforms seem to have those shoulder pads? So now I've got shoulder pads. I'm going to find two little squares that match my skin up here, and I'm going to cut the corners off of it. And now I have my two little hands. And again, do we glue them on the top like this or underneath?
Underneath.
Underneath. Alrighty? So, all sorts of decorations that you can be working on today. All sorts of decorations. Okay, once you have assembled your project and it's all put together, I'm going to start with my hands. So I want to find two little square pieces that match my skin color, whatever I did my face. And I'm going to cut the corners off. Oops, that one didn't match. Cut the corners off, and I'm going to glue it on my arms. And again, I want to glue it underneath my arms. So it's going to go underneath here to glue my two hands on. After I've glued my hands on, I can start with my hat. And it's okay that there's space on either side for my hat because that's where my hair is going to go. So I'm going to pick out, I think I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to zigzag cut. And again, you don't have to do this. This is what I'm doing for mine. And you can look at some other examples of nutcrackers and the kind of crowns or hats they had. So here's my piece. I'm going to put some glue on the bottom. And I'm going to glue this on here just like this. And then I'm going to cut the corners off. So now I have a hat, and just to add some extra detail, I've pre-cut a bunch of different shapes. So I'm going to put some glue on here. Again, I'm gluing on my paper and not gluing on the table. I don't want to get glue all over my table. So once I glue this on, once I get that on, I can cut it off. Put some glue up here on his head, and I can glue my crown on. I can take the other half of that zigzag and I can cut it in half, and these are going to be my shoulder pads, because a lot of military uniforms have those fancy little shoulder pads or some sort of design there. From there, again, this is about layering up designs. Layer, layer, layer. Build up all these designs. I'm going to put on a chest piece. I'm going to cut another chest piece to go on top of it, so I got to make this a little smaller. And I'm going to glue it on the center. I'm going to do some leg pieces. And again, if I do a leg piece, I probably want whatever design I put on this one, the decorative lining that goes down one, I want it to match, so these two are the same. Whatever I did on this one, I did on that one. Same if I put some designs on his arms. Whatever I put on this arm, I want to put on this arm. And then I can trim off the extra. For this step today, all we're doing is decorating his uniform. We're not worrying about the face. We're not worrying about his boots. All we're doing is decorating. I'm going to add a nice belt. Remember, we cut those little divots, those little triangles in right here for the belt. So I'm going to put some glue on there. Again, this is about as being as fancy as you want it to be and layering up designs. So I'm going to layer and layer, and I can make my belt buckle. Put a belt buckle on right here in the middle. I want this piece to go across, so I'm going to cut some pieces. Again, I'm putting the glue on my nutcracker and not on the table where it will make a mess. Anywhere that you want to add your extra design, you can. You can cut some of these strips smaller. I think the bottom of my sleeves deserve a little bit of a design. So I'm going to put 2 little stripes down here at the bottom on this side. And again, symmetrical. If I do it on that side, I've got to put it on this side as well. So it's kind of like if you were going to design your dream uniform, what would it be? You can cut all sorts of shapes. I think for the bottom of this, I think I'm just going to do that. So again, there are all sorts of different shapes cut out for you to be able to use to layer your designs and design an awesome, amazing nutcracker. So again, today is just about decorating our nutcracker.
To finish the nutcracker face, you're going to need eyes, a nutcracker mouth, which is a red square, white square, and then you use a Sharpie to draw your teeth. You'll want to make a mustache or a beard. Those can be up to you. And as you notice, I used cotton balls to finish. Last are boots. Boots, I folded a piece of paper in half and to cut out my boots, and then you can decorate them. You can add strips of paper to decorate a boot top. You could add sequins. Just make these your own. Enjoy, so much fun.